Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Unpopular Opinions with me, Randy Prizzle. I nearly forgot the name, literally. As I said, brain is doing the madness again. It's doing the madness to my head. But yeah, we're here again, and hopefully my head doesn't do a mad one. The light is shining really bright, so it's already a bad news when the light is going really bright. It's shining bright like a diamond. Diamonds right now is not a good thing for me at this point in time. But anyways, I can't really stare deep into the light, so I'm going to be sometimes staring away because it helps instead of looking directly into it. Otherwise it's going to get really problematic and I'm just going to keep waffling like I'm doing now. But anyways, let's get on to the popular opinions of today's episode. Cyclists get too much hate. Now, I do agree with this, but I do also agree that some cyclists do find it for themselves. Now, I do cycle. I used to cycle before my hand injury. That's when I was cycling a lot. But obviously now it's colder. My hand is still on the mend, so it's not 100% yet. Probably about 60-ish%. Still get some stiffness in that, but it's not about my hand. I do think cycling around is helpful, is beneficial towards some people, obviously, who don't go to the gym a lot. It does help you maneuver around and able to get past traffic quite easily and get to some places, relatively quickly. But I do think some cyclists do take a bit of the PI, They do take a bit of the biscuit, Not like Limp Bizkit I'm talking about, with the guy who sings the Rolling song and that. I'm talking about people just going overboard, Jumping too many red lights, Just going ahead of a car when a car's about to move. Some people trying to squeeze their way through like a bus and a truck and stuff to get past. I just think sometimes it's insane. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. But that's what some cyclists are. They're just doing the daredevil stuff. And I'm not talking about the Marvel series. I'm talking about these people just acting a fool. Immature stuff. Like the ludicrous song. Act the fool. So I just sometimes think some people should just slow down. Calm down, relax. Don't just be so eager beaver. I know you need to get to point A to point B, but just relax yourself. Calm down. It's the Ronaldo old school, celebration used to go now. But anyways, we move on to the next one. The kinder you are, the worse others will treat you. The more you give, the worse you feel as they continue to exploit your generosity. I think when you're kind, people do take advantage of you sometimes. I think sometimes there needs to be a line where you're kind to people that generally deserve your kindness and you're just a bit probably, let's say, not as approachable or kind to people who, have given you a reason. Do you know what I mean? So they've given you a reason to go, just give me a reason, just a little bit of love, just a second. Well, they're broken and bent, so you don't want to learn to love them anymore. So you know what I mean? It's just one of them things where I think, obviously, yes, when you're feeling down or you're feeling bad and you're at that place where you're very vulnerable, some people can easily pounce, like a lion now, or a jaguar, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So you're going to hear me roar that Katy Perry stuff and that. But some people would look to do those things when they see, oh yeah, it's easier to get to that case where that person is such in a bad situation or a bad state where they can't really function. So they would use that as a task to get what they want from you. Do you know what I mean? See what I mean? Show me what you got, little mama. Show me what you got, shorty. Show me what you got, baby. You know what I mean? So they're just trying to take your kindness for weakness in that. I do think sometimes there needs to be a line. You know what I mean? Again, coming back to the line. Don't overstep the border, but don't understep it as well. Just treat the people who are giving it, as I say, some people go with that old analogy, treat the mean, keen, no. F that. I would say, watch yourself, do obviously allow the people in that you believe to be good, kind souls. Okay, most people won't be. There'll be wolf in sheep's clothing and all of that. So you've got to be very careful. You know what I mean, who you give your kindness to and all of that. But anyways, let's move on. I've been waffling on about too much for that one. But yeah, people who don't use paragraphs must not care if anyone wants to read their 1,000-word Runyon sentences. I personally think, like, you know, paragraphs, it depends. I think it depends on your mood. It depends on how you feel. If you need to use a paragraph. I mean, if you need to send a professional letter to like an employee, or you want to quit your job or something like that, or someone that you need to really impress, then cool. You know what I mean? Your essays are generally worth it, and using paragraphs definitely will probably make you stand out a lot more. But if it's someone you just generally don't care about, you know what I mean, it's just sending it to someone in a text or whatever, you know, someone that it's like, couldn't care less, then do what you got to do. Do you know what I mean? I just think obviously using paragraphs is more for the professional stance. If you're trying to send it to someone to impress them professionally, to try to like stand out, I guess. But you don't really need paragraphs if you're sending it to someone like a mate or a script for a film or someone that, I don't know, one of them ones. It doesn't matter, to be honest. It doesn't matter. So yeah, next one. People should really get into the habit of cleaning their phones daily. Ooh. As I'm touching this now, I'm starting to think. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's when I see it quite specky, you know what I mean, and quite, let's say, a lot of dust on it, then yeah, man would obviously try to clean it up. But it's not like every sort of day sort of thing, otherwise it starts to become OCD-ish. Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes let it gather and then you can clean it. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just, every day let me clean, dust his hair. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He's moving like a mad person at the end of the day. That's just what I think. But anyways, next one. The caller's real name and the reason for calling should be displayed on the screen instead of just the number. Yeah, I do agree sometimes, because you get these random people that call you and you don't know why they're calling you for some reason. They might be calling you just in case to obviously prank you, or they might be calling you just in case to try and scam you. Do you know what I mean? Some people bad-minded. Do you know what I mean? They just want to try and get what they can from you. So I do think that they should have a thing where you should get the person's real calling name, whoever they are, so you know if that person, you know them or you don't know them, or if their intentions are real or their intentions are not, so you can instantly delete them, or you can get rid of them if you know they're problematic and that. So generally, I do think it's well worth looking into that. You know what I mean? Definitely getting the real name and the reason, because the reason, give me a reason to call you back and stuff. Give me a reason to speak to you again. Just give me a reason to talk to you. Because if you haven't done that, then why the heck would I want to talk to you? Do you know what I'm saying? But anyways, that's it, guys. This episode has been extended, hasn't it? That's all for this episode of Unpopular Opinions this week. So big yourselves up if you're a first-time watcher, seasoned watcher, and all of the above. Appreciate your time. And you know what we usually do here when I finish, and I will react and give my opinions later on.